Hello everyone, I'm Sony and welcome to my full chatting course. Before we begin, I just quickly want to say that I also have a chatting agency called infinitechatting.com. You can go look up the website and check it out for yourself. And I also have a free Telegram group for creators and agency to network, help each other, and all that good stuff. I can drop some free sauce there as well once there are enough people. But moving on, I don't want to waste your time. So basically, before I get started with the profile setup and marketing part of chatting, I want you to understand why it is there in the first place. If anyone of you have experience in sales or know Jordan Belfort, that is where I learned it from. There's this thing called straight line persuasion, and if with any kind of conversation or sales pitch you're trying to achieve a goal, it needs to be a straight line for it to be most efficient and most effective. And that is how you're going to see this form at the end as well, because I will be releasing multiple parts and you will see at the end that this is a straight line. So we have to start from the beginning. The first touch, when the first time the subscriber or the potential fan sees the girl and follows them on Instagram or sees them on Reddit and is kind of intrigued or interested in the girl in itself. So there are many things that they will see, of course, depending on the platform. But the basic rule here is the click progression. The click progression. Basically, every click they do, let's say from OnlyFans to from Instagram to link in bio to OnlyFans, 3 clicks. Every click needs to be a progression. So the OnlyFans profile picture and the content there should be the most SFW, or the Reddit content should be the most SFW, and what they find on OnlyFans should be a bit more lewd. The way I like to do it, I still like to do SFW so it complements my chatting. Everything you do on your profile and anything they encounter before talking to the girl, they are always trying to kind of qualify the girl if they like her or if they don't like her. If they want to subscribe, if they want to invest more money, how the girl is, they're just trying to figure that out as well, subconsciously. So let's say a fan is coming from Instagram to link in bio and then to OnlyFans. It needs to be a progression. So let's say the profile picture on Instagram is something very normal. The profile picture on the link in bio needs to be a bit sexier, and then so on the OnlyFans account. Very simple stuff. One thing you need to understand, things that you show for free on social media will always influence your purchases and what they're looking for while chatting, while you're OnlyFans, etc. And if you post porn on Reddit, you won't be able to sell fucking mirror pictures or air, because then it's a porn star, then it's not an OnlyFans creator. GFE, we like to do this a GFE way, and this is what I'm going to teach in this video and all the videos and everything I release, because I do not do porn. So next step is the OnlyFans page setup. The OnlyFans page setup is also important. It's like the middle of the funnel. So top of the funnel is your social media, middle of the funnel is the OnlyFans page. So if you see here, profile picture, banner, bio, CTA, and promotion, these are the things that majorly affects your girl's conversion rate, your creator's conversion rate. Profile picture is something I like to A/B test a lot. Banner as well, bio as well. Some tips I want to give you for a good bio is, do not make it $9.99 bundle, a BB, GG, all that content I have available. I do this. No, it's not a flea market. Do not treat it as a menu. You need to treat it as a real girl's bio. The frame I like to use for setting up a profile for all my creators is a girl who's clueless and doing OnlyFans by herself. She doesn't have an agency. That is the frame you want to do, because fans are getting tired and sick of the agencies. There are too many. They're all the same, and there's really not much difference, and it's very low quality or just porn in there. That is something we don't do. So the bio needs to be simple. There's basically no rules except for don't make it look like a fucking Temu website. CTA and promo, how I like to do it is I like to use the maximum discount or a free if the creator is new, if the OnlyFans account is new, I like to do a 30-day free trial um, with a paid subscription following up the next month, and basically do that until I have enough subscribers to basically turn them to enough paid subscribers only. Pin posts. Your pin posts are a really good way of getting the girl introduced, because that is the first post they'll see after subscribing. How I like to do it is basically put a caption on the post saying, "Hey, thank you for subscribing. I like all my pictures for a surprise," and then a video of basically 30-second video of the girl thanking and showing her personality, being joyous, happy, bubbly. You need to make sure the girl is positive. It also depends on the kind of niche. If she's into dom and stuff, she needs to portray that. If she's younger, 18, 19, 20, she needs to be bubbly and happy. But usually positive attributes works the best. Stories is a hidden tool that can help you increase your chatting revenue by a lot, because not a lot of people are using this. And also you have to understand, all the fans that subscribe to you, they are subscribed to probably 100 different girls. So stories is a way that you can stand out, because not a lot of people use stories. And the way I like to treat stories is kind of like an OnlyFans close friends, not OnlyFans, Instagram close friend stories, or some of these only Instagram influencers that are not on OnlyFans, they have Instagram subscription, and then there they post subscription, they post a bit of sexier content. That is basically how I like to use the stories, and put some caption on it, something that they can reply to, something that's easy to reply to. For example, this is something I like to use a lot. "Hey, this guy said TTYL to me," and then stop replying. "What does that mean? Can please anyone help me out? I'm so confused." And then the guys will be like, "Hey, TTYL means talk to you later," and then that's how basically you start chatting to them again. Very simple, very good technique. Welcome message and follow up. Welcome message is basically the first touch in the DMs. As soon as the fan subscribes, they get a welcome message, and if they decide to open the DMs, that is what they will see. So how I like to do welcome message is basically a video of the creator saying thank you for subscribing, and then it needs to be a 10-15 second video, 20-second video, free of course, looking cute, bubbly, joyous. That is something you need to follow all along. And at the end, ask questions like, "Hey, why did you subscribe to me? What do you like the most about me?" So the fan can reaffirm the reasons and feel good about the purchase he just made, and want to talk to the girl more, because he knows now what he likes. And that is something that you can use to basically set up sequences and kind of know that, okay, most of the people coming to this profile are coming for, let's say, a specific reason: eyes, hair, other reasons. And then that can help you make content better, that can help you make sequences better, that can help you sell better overall. So you have to understand that everything needs to complement your chatting style and your chatting, so you can maximize it. Without chatting, you won't be able to make any money. Without good chatting, it's really hard to make good money. Let's say you have 1,000 paid subs coming at $3 a month. That's $3,000 a month just from subscription. But if you have a good chatting and a good ratio, that's $30,000 to $40,000 per month. If it's a little bit down, it's still $15,000 to $20,000 a month, easy. So if you don't have good chatting, you're not gonna make good money. You're leaving plenty of money on the table, and as my mentor told me, you can never afford to leave money on the table. That's why you need to always be upgrading your systems and finding out how you can sweep the table clean every single time. So yes, if you follow all of this right, if you follow everything I just told in this short video, you check all the boxes, you will set a very good path for chatting in itself. And you have to understand the content progression and influence and its influence on purchase. Basically, if you show a full on nude video of her doing crazy stuff on Reddit, and then the fan comes on OnlyFans and he sees bikini pictures, he'll be pissed because he just paid for bikini pictures when he already had everything he wanted. So it's very safe to say that every time a fan subscribes or goes to your chatting, every time he's progressing in the funnel, he will expect more crazy stuff. So you have to frame it the right way. You have to frame it as an innocent girl, so that your creator does not have to go crazy and do fucking 8 feet tentacle dildos and stuff. Also, same thing goes for the OnlyFans profile. Whatever you show on the OnlyFans profile, what I like to do is completely SOW. I don't like to show any nudes, but it really depends on the girl and the niche they are in, and what kind of creator they want to be. But at the end of the day, I don't like to do any NSFW on the feed. So automatically, if they want to see more of the girl, they will have to talk to the girl. Now, there are different kind of fans, and there are different kind of ways to dealing with it. That is for the next video. But yeah, basically make sure you do this right before even thinking about chatting. This is basically when you set up a new creator. This is everything I make sure I do correctly. Hey guys, welcome to the full chatting course part 2. In this video, I'm going to be telling you about the first touch and the start. Well, the next step will be the chatting in itself, building connection and all that. But that is how a fan subscribed, he looked at your pictures, and now what? Before we start chatting, and how to get started. This is what this video is going to be about. So you have to understand first the psychology of the fan. As a fan joins or subscribes to the OnlyFans profile, what he does first is look to the profile, look to the pin post, read the captions, kind of like play with himself. Basically go through the profile, go through the stories. If there's any live streams, go through that. Basically just clicking around the profile, and from the hundreds of DMs that he already have, if he likes the girl enough, he will check the DM, because one, everybody's welcome messages are the same. Second, they're all asking for money, and they're all just porn, so very replaceable. If he doesn't find her for 2 seconds, no problem, moving on to the next, because there's a new message, a hotter girl, different reasons. Yeah, so there's a lot of messages already, and he's subscribing to 10 girls a day, mostly free. So there's a lot of spammy messages. Buy $10 PPVs, BBGG bundles, this and that. There's something we do not do. Yes, it might give you a small boost in the statistics, but over time, when the fan finds no connection, the fan is like, okay, this is just a store, it's a website, Amazon. I go, I click, I buy, and I get it, and then I can do whatever I want. He will find no connection, and he will find no reason to come back. And another thing, you're very replaceable. You're just like any other product or any other creator on OnlyFans, selling their videos and pictures and bundles. So that is something we're not going to do. That is something we don't do at all, because that is not what most of the fans need and are looking for. And what they need is a genuine connection from a real girl, a reason to come back, someone to be their therapist, someone to give them that kind of attention that they have not received from a girl in the past few years. So you have to think like the fan. And while chatting also, a side tip, if you're chatting or if your chatters are chatting, you have to kind of imagine being the girl and kind of embody the emotions while you type. That's going to help you play around, be entertaining, which is very important in chatting, first of all. So what is the first touch? The first touch is usually initially it is the profile, but it is the welcome message always, and the welcome message is really important. And why is it important? Is because first, it determines the start of the conversation and the frame in itself. Second, it is a tool that can be used to get out the information about what the fan likes, why did he subscribe, where did he come from, where did he find the profile from. And over time, you will kind of find out which traffic source brings what kind of fans, what do they like. And on top of that, and using that data, you can sculpt your marketing content, and you can sculpt your scripts. You maybe if a lot of fans are liking the girl's eyes, you can actually sculpt a script or a sequence that shows off her eyes in a way that can help you make more money and kind of give the fan what he wants as well, which is pleasure. So yeah, that is why it's important. It can be used as a tool, and it basically sets the frame of, yeah, it's a real girl. I'm a real girl, and you're talking to a real girl. I'm not a chatting team. I'm not an agency. I'm not just trying to get money and sell you fucking 15 photos. Even though some fans might want it and it's free money, but we have to at least try and make sure that they don't want the GFE and they know the game, and they know what they're here for. Okay, whatever, come get it, right? So suggestions on how you can do that. So you have to understand the touch points. There are 4 things you can do in the OnlyFans DMs. One is a text. Second is a photo. Third is a third is a video, which you can use in a bundle as well. You can mix it with text and send a video and a photo. And then fourth is a voice note. So in my opinion, what are the 2 methods that has worked the best? A, voice note, and B, videos. These are the 2 best methods in my opinion, the 2 best touch points for the welcome message. And what you want to do is you want to have a follow-up message as well. If you have a video, the best way is to do a video and then a follow-up voice message. It gives a lot of personality to the girl. The guy can actually imagine the girl talking to her phone, and that adds a lot of realism to the chat already. That means the fan will be willing to spend more, will value the girl more, and will think about the girl more because now she has a personality and she's a real human being. So what you want to do in the initial video or the voice note for the or even the text, you want to ask fan, hey, you want to tell fan, hey, thank you very much for subscribing. Always be jolly, always be positive, bubbly. Guys like that, everybody likes that, not just guys. Yeah, ask them, hey, where are you from? Thank you for subscribing so much. Welcome to my page. I'm very new. Give me some suggestions. Ask these questions that no one asks. Everybody is asking the same question. What do you want? What are you looking for? Hey, baby. In 2025, man, we don't use baby, and give it out for free. It needs to be authentic. It needs to look like an authentic girl. And if you just text a girl on Instagram, hey, or even if you say, hey, baby, she's not going to reply. You're going to get blocked. And if she replies, she's not going to say baby right away unless she wants something you have. And that makes it very transactional. So yeah, don't use the word baby. Ask them where they're from, what they like about the girl, why did they subscribe, or where they find the profile from. How can you improve the page? This is actually very good because no agency wants to ask how can you improve the page. So the girl can be like, hey, thank you for subscribing. I'm very new. I'm pretty sure I'm not doing the best job, but you're here anyways. If you look through my profile, you're going to find some photos, and if you have anything that I can improve my OnlyFans journey and my career in OnlyFans, let me know. I would appreciate that a lot. Guys will actually talk about how you can improve and that will tell you what they're looking for. Very good strategy. You can use it, but I'm not gonna tell everything. Okay, I've already told a lot. You lucky motherfuckers. Anyways, follow-ups and PPVs are also very important. There will be fans that will reply initially, but that'll be small percentage of fans. Most of the fans you will get on the first follow-up, which should be a voice note or a text message, that you need to train your chatters to give at least a few hours or the next day of the initial welcome message. If they don't reply, you can kind of send in another photo as a PPV. Be like, hey, we haven't really talked. Let's get to know each other. Blah 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 blah. And what else? Stories can be used as well. I'm gonna do your own research. I'm not gonna tell a lot, but stories is a very good tool to actually get more people in the DM. And why is it important to have a very good welcome message strategy? It is because let's say you have 100 fans, right? You have 100 new fans today. Doesn't matter if they're free, doesn't matter if they're paid. You have 100 new fans. And then your shitty welcome message the flea market PPV 999 997 shit gets 3 people to reply and 1 person to buy. That's $10 to you. Good, you're now richer. But now, what experts do? What experts do is they have 100. They will have 2 welcome messages that they will try over the week. Okay, a video and a voice note, or 2 different videos, and they will put both videos 1 week after another, and they will track the numbers across 100 people. Let's say 100 people join on day 1, 100 people join on 100 people join on week 1, and 100 joins on week 2. They will see, okay, this one has 20 messages replies, this one has 30 messages in reply. Why is that? And then make a third one, or maybe use the better one. So now you have 20 people that you're talking to that are potential buyers, potential relationship, potential whales. That is just a numbers game. Data and numbers can give you so many solutions that logic sometimes cannot. Because if you have the data, you can make logic off of it. If you have numbers, you can make logic off of it. Math is very logical. But if you're just trying to snoop around and just move your cursor around the screen and try and look for solutions, you're not gonna get anywhere, my friend. So you have to always look at the numbers. Thank you very much. Also, before I go, I wanna tell you guys, I have a chatting agency as well, infinitechatting.com. We are the best in the market. If you want to know more, you can go on the website right here. If you want to sign up for a call, you can book a call in the description or on the website in itself. I also have a free Telegram group for creators and agencies. Link in the bio for networking, helping each other, connecting, all that good stuff. You can join there for free as well. Building rapport. Building rapport is going to be one of the most important parts of this video, of this course. Actually, another video. But yes, building rapport is... Welcome everyone to part 3. Building rapport is going to be the most important part of this course. So make sure you have your notebooks ready. Make sure you are taking notes. Make sure you're writing this shit down. Make sure you have it, and make sure you convert it into action, because learning is learning, but if you don't do it, it's useless, right? So first of all, we're gonna talk about what is building rapport and what is rapport. Rapport is basically having a relationship with the guy where you guys talk back and forth, where he thinks you're a real person, where he thinks that he's talking to you and not one of your chatters or one of your team members, etc. If you're an OnlyFans agency, same thing goes for you, that the goal is for the person to be thinking that he's talking to your creator, your model, and not one of your chatters. And that is rapport. When he trusts you, when he thinks you're a real person, when he likes you, and he basically trusts you and likes you as a friend as well. He likes talking to you. There's a good flow in the conversation. It looks real. It's not like a flea market, like I'm saying again. It's not like a flea market. You go in and there's like, hey, buy this discount, buy one get one free. Hey, $9.99 pussy videos and whatnot. It's not that. Excuse me. A good rapport is when the person thinks that he's talking to the creator in itself, and he treats her like a real person, and he treats her, or your chatters, or whoever he's talking to, he treats you respectfully, like a real person, like a real girl he would talk to, and he's kind of wondering about what you're doing. He doesn't want to mess it up. He wants you to like him back, etc. and etc. It's not very transactional when you build a good rapport. It's more about the relationship you guys have. And for that you make jokes sometimes, you get teased and whatnot. So let's get into it. The goal here with building rapport is for him to trust you as a real person at the end. And why is it important? The better rapport you have, the more he thinks that he knows you, the more he's going to like you, and the more he's going to get horny for you, because it's a real girl. And most of these guys, they don't have a real female relationship. They haven't experienced this female attention in a long while. It is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but that is who they are. They don't really have a good sexual relationship or a romantic relationship. That is why they need someone to talk to. That is why they're OnlyFans. They're not here for porn. And once you provide that kind of relationship to them, they get addicted to the attention. They get addicted to talking to you, and you always want to know. You always want to make sure that you're the prize. You're the girl, so you are above the fan. They have subscribed to talk to you, not the other way around. I know one mistake a lot of creators and OnlyFans management companies, what they do is they start chasing the money instead of flipping the script The fan chase the attention and the content. And once this is the case that the fan is chasing, his wallet is open. And you have to remember this. The fan only pays when either he's in love or he's horny. If he's both in love and horny, his wallet is wide open for you to take all his money. And the way you do it is by building a good rapport. This is the very important first step. If you don't do it, then it's going to be very hard for you to take all his money, basically. So yes, starting with, where should I start? Okay, so basically how it works is, if you watched the previous video, you know that you send a welcome message and whatnot, and what goes after. Let's say after welcome message the conversation starts. What you do is you try and get to know him. And now once you try to get to know him, you don't be like, hey, what's your name? Hey, where are you from? No, not this. You have to ask good questions, and you have to make sure that there's a conversation flow after each question. It cannot be like, hey, where are you from? California. Hey, what's your name? Johnny. Oh, how old are you? This is bullshit. This is very boring. There's no natural flow, and it looks very robotic. It looks like an interview. So this is how I approach the situation. Once you start talking, what you do is you start asking for their name, and then be like, oh, make some bullshit story about their name, that maybe some person, or maybe some random stranger with this name approached you, and he was kind of hot. Some bullshit like that. Same with the age, same with the place. Especially one thing I like to do with the places, let's say the person says he's from Italy, I'll be like, oh, I fucking love pizzas. I've never had a real authentic Italian pizza. And some other things you can do is, if he says he's a security guard, you can be like, oh my god, I fucking love men in uniform. You cannot be rude, first of all. You cannot be rude, angry, and you cannot be... basically, you cannot be anything negative. You have to show that you're nice, bubbly, friendly, and kind of extroverted and happy. Positive emotions only. Because you're representing a creator, first of all, and second, these are the emotions that people like. If they wanted an angry bitch, if they wanted a stuck-up girl, they would have went to their wife or their girlfriend. But the reason they are OnlyFans because they're fed up of that, and they do not need that in their life anymore, or they want something different. So basically, you make good conversation, be bubbly, and make sure you take notes. Ask them. These are some things that you can ask them about. Ask them about their relationship. Ask them about their pets. Pets work very, very good. Ask them about their previous relationships and whatnot. Ask them about their life in general and make conversation about that. And when you do this, you will get two things, okay? One, you will get to know the fan. You will build rapport. And second, you will get trigger points. And what you do with those trigger points is you hit them when needed. Okay? Let's say you don't know what to talk about, but this guy has dogs. Be like, oh, can you send me the pictures of the dogs? I love them. I love these furry pets, whatever. And if you know about his previous relationship trauma, you can bring them up, or you can play her down. You have to kind of decide that according to the situation, but it's very psychological. But you can use, the more notes you have on a person, the more things you can use to achieve your goal, basically, because he knows more. You know more about him than he knows about you, and the only things he knows about you is the one you want him to know. And yes, be weird and entertaining. You can be very, very random while chatting, because you're an entertainer, so you have to be entertaining. And most chatters and most people, what they do wrong is they're very robotic, they're very calculative, and they basically don't know how to branch different conversations, mix things up, be bubbly, be funny, be weird. This is very important, because if you're talking to a real girl, she's going to be weird, or at least she's going to be funny. Not in a weird sense of it, but funny, weird sense of it. You're trying to make jokes, you're trying to make inside jokes, you're trying to nickname each other. If you can set up that vibe, that is amazing. Okay? Next thing I would say is take control, but let them guide the conversation. What does that mean? That means you need to make sure that the conversation slowly goes towards sexual stuff, so he gets horny and he wants to buy stuff. He wants to buy some, content, pictures, videos, video calls, customs, whatever your offer is here. Never sell bundles, to be honest, but yes. Yeah, and the way you do this by taking control and but letting them guide the conversation is when you're asking questions, when you're being weird and entertaining, that's doing something to his brain. One thing you can add is push and pull. Let's say he talks about his job, or he talks about his living situation, his school, anything he talks about. In the middle, you can add like a sexual tease with text, of course. So add a sexual tease with text, and then come back to normal conversation and do it a couple times, and he'll start getting horny, and he's gonna start fucking with his brain, and he won't be able to control himself. You just keep doing it. Usually, it works 2 to 3 times, and they're very, very, job done. But if he doesn't catch it, you just keep doing it maybe 4 or 5 times, and then he's going to steer the conversation towards sex and sexual stuff himself. And that is how you get them. That is how you start taking their money. And once he is getting sexual, you try and avoid it. Blah, 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 blah. Once he's getting sexual, this is your cue to start selling. You don't sell right away. You first send a lot of freebies. Not a lot. I don't mean 5 or 10 freebies. Usually 1 video, 2 or 3 photos is good for a teasing video, or tease, or freebies, whatever you want to call it. And in that, there's usually like selfie, a little seductive, a video of her blowing a kiss or saying hi, or just a video for, a selfie video for looking at herself. Snapchat selfies, these girls do. But yes, that is what you do in the freebies, and giving that will actually, he'll start enjoying it, and he would want to see more. And once you want to see more, you give him more for money, but that's for next video. And to end this video, I want to say, make sure the conversation is very natural. It's a natural flow, branching conversation, talking about hobbies, talking about job, talking about not past life, but past in the life, like past jobs, past relationships, current relationships, kids or not, goals in life, and whatnot. Do push and pull. It's very easy via text. Also, if you can add voice notes, if your creator can speak English or whatever language you're chatting in, and if you're a creator yourself, it's much easier for you. If you can add voice notes in between the teasing, in between asking questions, this will build rapport 10x. So if you can do that very, very well, try that as well. Take control and let them be the guide. Also, guys, one thing I want to tell you is showing resistance is something that can help you a lot. What I mean by showing resistance is, let's say you send a free stuff, you send some free stuff, and then the fan starts asking for, hey, I want take it off. Hey, I want to see this. I want to see pussy. I want to see boobs. I want to see your ass. Whatever. If you act like your girl has never done that, or if you are an OnlyFans creator yourself, if you act like your creator or yourself has never done that before, and hesitate and be like you're very nervous, it's gonna potentially put your perceived value above than the girls that sell pussy pics for $9.99, because she has never done it. That kind of brings an exclusivity, something that men like, innocence, something that men like and would like to pay more for, even though it's a total lie. Does not fucking matter. If you play this card, you can potentially get more money for pics and videos that are basically SFW. If you have any questions, ask in the comment. One thing I want to tell you is, guys, I do have a very good chatting agency. It's called infinitechatting.com. You can go to the website and take a look at it yourself. I'll tell you more about my offer, what I have to offer, what I do, what's required, etc. Also, I have a free Telegram group for creators and agency, link in bio, and I have a Reddit service. Actually, you'll find a link in bio for my Telegram channel as well, where I tell you about my Reddit service, my chatting service, and my OFM service. So if you're a creator, feel free to hit me up. Yes, thank you very much for watching. Hey guys, welcome to the part 4, selling sequence. So what we have discussed before is profile setup, marketing, etc., first touch, building a rapport, and when building a rapport, right after that you do, it's kind of a wavelength thing. it's not very black and white. It's a mix. So basically, when you're building rapport, you start talking sexual, go back and forth, and do a lot of push pull. And once the fan is uncontrollably talking about sexual stuff, is horny and whatnot, you start selling the sequence. So first of all, I'm going to. It's a whole fucking. It's a very webby thing. I cannot possibly give everything in one video, but I will try my best. I have pointers written down, and I'm going to explain those pointers. And I'm explaining everything from the back of my head, basically. So, first of all, you have to do is categorize the fan. Usually, there will be 3 or 4 type of fans at the most. One would be time wasters. Second would be people who fall for your GFE, etc. Third would be people who know what they want. They know how the game is. They know everything. They're like, okay, I just want this. But even for them, you have to make sure you try GFE a little bit first, and that is how you categorize them. Anyways, once you categorize the fan, and it's very easy. Most of the fans you will see will actually do GFE if your chatting is good. Your chatting needs to be on point. The way you write, the way you give out the characteristics of the girl in the chatting, the way your chatters work, or if you're chatting yourself, it needs to be language and vibe like a real fucking girl. If it's not, then it's not going to really work out. These people can know. They're not stupid, and they're spending money. So they will be looking out for stuff. Imagine yourself, if some girl asks you for money, or if not just a girl, in general, if you're looking to spend out the money, you will also look for the reasons not to spend money. And if you see some red flag, if you see you're not going to get value of what you're looking for, you will not spend the money. And also, one more thing I want to repeat in this video is a fan spends the most money either when he's horny or he's in love. And if he's in both, his wallet is wide open. Anyways, so basically, going to the next point, freebies and sequence set, it kind of links in. So what a sequence basically is imagine you are a girl and you are talking to someone that you like, etc., and you start sexting with them. You're not gonna send naked pictures right away, blah blah blah. Let's say you send a snap first. If a girl has ever tried to fucking seduce you online, you would know what I'm talking about. But anyways, you start with a selfie video. That is the freebie. So I usually give out 3 to 4 freebies, and I spread them out. So let's say the first one is a video and a photo, and the second one is a photo and then a video again. And it's very lewd. Nothing they can get off to. Nothing they can actually complete whatever they're trying to do. Because the post clarity hits, and we need to delay that to a point that it gets kind of uncontrollable, but we cannot delay it too much either. So freebies is a very good way of building rapport, as I said before, and you need to spread them. And it needs to be maybe a girl saying hi, or just a mirror selfie video for showing herself, giving a blow kiss, whatever. And always have variations also. And then from there, you progress. So each video or photo you send to next needs to be a progression. And everything needs to have variations as well. So the chatters can play around. They have freedom. They are not stuck with, oh, this or that. The more variations you have, the better. But it needs to also, at the same time, look like a straight line, like this whole passage I told you. It needs to look like a straight line, like a girl, she sends photo or a video to her getting naked and masturbating and whatnot. In between, you can also use voice notes. You can also give freebies in between as well, and at the end. So I usually like to give freebies 3 times during the session if it's going good. First in the start, to get them all uncontrollably liking the girl. Oh, she's looking so hot and whatnot. In the middle, so they're like, oh, she sent me a freebie. And at the end, thanking them, basically giving them an award for completing and going through the sequence. And one more thing I want to tell you is that basically the sequence, it needs to have a very natural look. So If you have a proper camera setup, 4K with perfect lighting, it looks like it has been planned, it's not going to sell that well. But if a girl just takes her selfie camera, turns it on, and records it right then and there, even if it's not perfect, it's going to sell better because they're going to believe that the girl is shooting it right now. So that is very, very, very important. And it needs to have progression in everything you sell. And that is about it. I cannot go into details about what to show and what not to show. And there are many different kind of sequences or sets you can follow. Basically, a sequence is the whole thing, and set is what clothes she's wearing and the background, or where she is, basically. The third thing I want to tell you guys about is the pricing ladder. So every time you move through the sequence, you need to upgrade the price. You need to upcharge every single thing you sell. That is why there needs to be a progression in every single media you send as well. So let's say the first 2 or 3 are free, or first 2 are free. The second needs to start at $10 or $5 or $15. You need to judge the pricing based on how much the fan likes you, and you do that by, of course, reading what he's typing, how fast is he typing, and how excited, in love, or horny he sounds. The second thing you need to do is you need to also look for these 2 signs. How fast is he buying the stuff you're selling, and how much appreciation is he showing you. If he's showing you a lot of appreciation and he's buying it right away, you can upcharge the next one a little bit more. Let's say you send the first one for $10 and he buys it right away. You can send the next one for $20 or $25. You have to be the judge of that. The more experience you gain with this, the more experience you will have on what to send and how much to send it for. Sometimes it's better to skip a little bit in the middle and send the more exclusive part for more money, and they usually buy it. So you be the judge of that. There's no right formula for it. Every girl is different, every account is different, every fan is different. And one formula applying to all would be just basically lying to you. But this is a formula that you can, this sauce that I'm giving you, you can basically note down some notes and you can make your own stuff up with it, and it's going to help you a lot. Anyways, use voice notes and talk with the fan. So let's say he buys something and then he says something. You don't send the next one right away. You talk to him a little bit. You get him excited about the next stuff. Maybe make him guess, play some games, etc. I always teach my chatters to play games. There are a lot of games, Truth and Dare, and there are some other games as well. I'm not going to tell you. But yeah, there's a lot of games you can look up online. And when you play games, this actually is kind of a new experience for the fans. And it gets them excited. And it's something that they basically makes the experience overall very, very good for them. So play games, talk, be nice to them, and yes, use voice notes, because very less people use voice notes. And once you use voice notes, it's going to have an effect of, oh, she's so real. She is right there talking to me. And these fans, they value that more because they always have a doubt in mind. Maybe it's an agency behind them. Maybe there are chatters behind them, because most of the people are finding out about this because, OnlyFans management is just getting very famous and the sauce is out there. Like I'm doing, maybe a fan sees it and he finds out that there are chatters, right? The last thing I want to tell you guys about is aftercare. So aftercare is very, very important as well. Once you go through the whole sequence, you want the fan to have overall a positive remembrance and have no buyer's remorse. So for aftercare, you give a couple freebies and you say, oh, this is the best experience I've ever had. I've never done stuff like that before. And also, this is something you can use in, while sending the sequence as well. Let's say he wants to ask for titty pictures and you don't send him titty pictures. You're like, oh, I've never done this before. It depends on the kind of branding you have for the creator. For me, the way I work, it usually works very well. But with the time, the strategy does not work very well for everyone. But in the starting, you can say, oh, I have never done this before. I've never send this to anyone before. And that will increase the perception value of the girl in the fan's mind, and he will be willing to pay more, and he will be begging for that stuff. So let's say usually bad chatting is you throw the picture and you put it for $50, and the fan doesn't even want to see it because it's $50. Good chatting is the fan is begging for the picture. He's like, can you please send me titty pics? Can you please send me titty pics? And you're like, no. And the third time, I'm so nervous, but okay, I'll do it. Fuck it. And then you send it for $50, $75, and he buys right away because he knows that he asked for it and he wants it very, very bad. So he has basically no control over him. And this is something you can do in aftercare as well. You can say, hey, I've never done this before with anyone. This was a really good experience. I feel so excited. And at the end, what you want to do is, after basically getting off, guys get emotional because of the post-nut clarity. So you can talk deep stuff about him, with him emotionally, like his childhood trauma, maybe something else, something emotional he's going through in life, his relationship, his business, maybe job is not going that well, maybe business is not going that well, whatever. Everyone has shit in life that's not going right, and they're emotional about it, and so you can talk to that. Especially these guys, they're on OnlyFans. Excuse me. And once you become their therapist, they will want to come back. They have this. They're now invested emotionally, and they're invested monetarily, like financially. And once you do that, and once you think the conversation is slowly dying, you want to cut the conversation off, and you want to schedule another time. And what you can do is, hey, I really like talking to you. I love the time we have. Are you free next weekend, or when can we do this again? Blah 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 blah. Let the man lead. Let him tell a date, and you hit him up a couple days before that. And how I do it is I have a whole Notion board. Plus, in the name you write, message him on this. Unless he messages you first, then you can talk a little bit. Of course, give him attention. He's a good spender. Always give spenders attention and care and love and overall a positive experience. And maybe he's ready to buy more stuff before that day. So never ignore them. And yeah, that is it. I gave all the sauce very quickly, and I talk very, very fast. So if you have to rewatch the fucking video, go do it again. One more thing I want to tell you guys is that I have a chatting agency. So if you guys want to know more about it, go to the website infinitechatting.com, watch the video. I also have a free Telegram group that you can find the link in the description. I also have a Reddit service for people that have good niche models or trans models, whatever. It's purely commission basis, so if you're interested, you can check the link in the bio as well. Check the link in the description as well. You will get all the information there. Ciao. Welcome to this new video, Chatting Psychology, and this video will be one of the most important video of the chatting course, one of the most important parts, and the main thing about this video will not understanding this video, but to implement it, because if you're making any kind of money with chatting or on OnlyFans overall, you will have chatters chatting for you. So you understanding this will not help until your chatters understand and implement this. And most of your chatters are lazy. Most of your chatters are low IQ and they don't have any communication skills. And most of your chatters, they're just trying to sell. They don't care about building relationships. But you need to know about the chatting psychology, the psychology of the fan, the approach you need to take, and everything I'm going to explain in this video to make the most of the fans you're getting and to make the most of the relationship you can build. So basically, in this video, you will learn this is how you build a long-term relationship and make them fall in love and make them invest them with their money and emotionality. And chatting psychology is overall a very, very, very big topic. So I've tried to make some points here. These might not align, as in they won't make sense until you know each other. So make sure you watch the full video, and yeah, let's get started. So the first point is KYC, know your customers. Guys, you have to understand this is the number one rule of when it comes to sales. Knowing your customer. If you don't know your customers, you cannot sell them anything you want, and you don't even know if they want it. So let's say you have 100 people subscribing. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know who they are. You don't know, what kind of life they live. You don't even know if you don't know your customer, you don't even know if they're a guy or a girl, if they're old or if they're young, and you won't be able to sell them. So that is why it's very, very important to know your customers. The overall base for OnlyFans is basically old dudes that are lonely, that do not have much of a female interaction, or they don't really get much female attention, that are deprived sexually, and they're looking for that emotional connection. Maybe they want to vent, maybe they want someone to care for, maybe they want someone to care for them, and a bunch of different things. So that is why they come for OnlyFans, and maybe they're just horny, and their wife doesn't let them tap. Basically that. So that is basically your customer base, and the next point is, when will they spend money? So basically, once you know your customers, this is the whole big hut that I told you about the customer, and in that whole hut, there are many different kind of customers, and each customer is a little bit different, if not completely different from each other. So it's very, very important to go in details of knowing these customers, and taking notes and hitting those trigger points that they have. And the only way you can do is if you have a good system for managing the fans and taking notes. If you don't have that, you won't be able to maximize your money and maximize your connection with each fan, because it needs to be very personalized. You're spending money on a human, on a let's say if you have a girlfriend, right? And you want to spend money on her, but you won't want to spend money on her if she doesn't know your birthday, if she keeps forgetting your name, or if she keeps saying the wrong name, or if she doesn't remember stuff. But basically, if she doesn't know you, you really don't want to spend a lot of money on her, or spoil her, or whatnot. But the only reason you feel like doing that to your girlfriend, because she's yours, she likes you, and she cares for you. So that is something you have to replicate. Real life. You have to replicate a lot of real life when it comes to chatting, guys. And this is very important. And the fans will spend money only, one, when they're in love, second, when they're horny, and their wallets are wide open if they're both in love and they're horny. So mostly it would be because just they're horny and they're out of control and whatnot. If they're in love, you can sell a little bit of air. That means, hey, my phone broke, sorry, I need money, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I need a MacBook, or hey, I just want to buy this dress. I want to buy this toy. And if they're in love, they will buy it. And when you make them spend more money, you're not just getting them emotionally involved because they're falling in love with the girl. If your chatting is good, if your emotional side of the chatting is good, they're not just falling in love, but they're also getting financially invested. Many people, let's say, this is why gambling is very addictive, guys, because once people gamble, they are emotionally and they're financially involved and invested. And once they're like, okay, maybe if I do another slot, or if I just play another hand of whatever game they're playing, maybe I will hit the lottery, maybe I will hit the jackpot, or maybe I'll hit a double. And that is why they keep going. This is very similar. They're emotionally involved, they're financially involved, and the more involved they are, the more they felt like they're taken care of, and the more they think they need to think every time they're getting a little closer to you. And the more they think like that, the more they're going to spend, and the more they will give in. So coming to the basic psychology. By this I mean the psychology of the fan. Again, you need to understand that even though our goal is to make him fall in love with the girl, and make him horny for the girl, and make him love the girl sexually and emotionally, he's sub to 1,000 other girls at least. Most of them are free and whatnot. Most of you guys are free as well. So you need to make sure that your chatting stands out. And how do you do that? It's not really much harder, because most of the people, they don't know what they're doing. Most are selling porn. Most are using Filipino chatter or African chatters. Well, first of all, I want to say I have nothing against Filos or African chatters. I have a couple really good African and a couple good Filipino chatter myself. But usually they are the lower end of the chatting side because they have low EQ and worse English than European or Western chatters. So yes, moving on. There's up to 100 plus girls, 1,000 plus girls, and they're getting mass messages every second. So you need to make sure that when you send a mass message or you're chatting to them, It feels real. It doesn't feel like spammy, and you stand out. If that's not happening, he won't be looking at you. He won't be deciding to chat with you. If he's not deciding to chat with you, there's no way you can make money from him. And this doesn't just go from mass messages. It also goes in stories. It also goes in your bio, the way you put your bio, the way you make your posts. Every single thing of this, uh, uh, every single thing of that goes into OnlyFans. You basically want to make him feel that one, you're a real girl. There's no agency involved, and you kind of don't know what they're doing. You're doing because you're an alone girl trying to make money on OnlyFans, just doing it in her free time, and you go to college. Maybe you have a part-time job, stuff like that. You have to also understand that his life, he's emotionally deprived of any girl's emotion. I think I've already said that. And why is he on OnlyFans? And this reason is kind of personal for every single fan out there. And you have to also understand that the fan likes the girl, and the girl is always above the fan because the fan paid money to see the girl. So let's say you go watch a movie, right? And well, I don't really watch movies, and I don't really know any Hollywood actors or actresses, and I couldn't really give a fuck. But let's say you watch sports. You go and watch a UFC fight, and there's John Jones fighting or Conor McGregor fighting. You paid to watch them, so they are above you. They're not gonna be like, "Oh, thank you so much. Can you please buy this UFC t-" No, they don't give a fuck. They are above you because you and everybody else in that arena paid to watch them. The arena is running because of them. All the other fighters can fight and make money because of them. So they do not give a single fuck if you, oh, buy this, buy that. They're not gonna beg you. You come, don't come. They can barely give a fuck. And that is the kind of angle you need to have. Of course, you cannot be like ruthless. Of course, you cannot be, you know, completely ignorant or completely rude, because sometimes they generally don't have money, and sometimes, you know, with patience, fans actually get comfortable enough to spend money on you. But you have to understand that patterns are real, and some of the guys will waste your time, and you have to understand that money equals attention. The more money they give you, the more attention and the more love they will get from the girl, and the less money they spend, the less attention basically they are. What's called direct correlation. So your attention needs to be directly correlated with the amount of money he's spending, whether it be in tips, whether it be in buying PPVs, whether it be in excuse me, whether it be in video calls or customs. However, the more money he spends, the more attention and the love he gets. And if he stops spending money, your attention and love needs to drop to a certain point. And now this is dark psychology. It needs to drop to a certain point that he can notice it, but he cannot call it right away, because then it'll be like, oh, you're just here for money. No, it cannot be like that. So you need to play a little games, and you need to teach this to chatters. And the only way you can do this, if you have chatters working with you long term and they don't have any bad habits. So what I like to do is I like to train my own chatters from zero. Or if they have, I like to work with them long term either ways and correct their mistakes, correct their bad habits, to make sure that they're molded properly. And it takes a very, very, very long time to make a chatter learn this to the core and actually work it out on the computer while they're chatting live. So it takes a long time. It's like building a salesman. When I was new at sales, I was put on the worst offer, and as they grew me, as they taught me more, they put me on better and better offer every few months, because they were like, okay, he's learning, he's growing, he's actually following the orders, and he's actually getting smarter and smarter in sales as time goes, as his practice grows. So we're gonna give him better places to go, better offers, so he can make more money. And that's how it should be, frankly, for your agency as well. Especially if you have multiple models, you can use this very well. So I've basically explained the fan and the creator relationship also in this. Okay, one more thing I want to add here is You have to understand that all of these guys, they want a small possibility to be able to meet the girl, and you need to play on that fantasy forever and ever and ever and ever until he just deletes his account or until he knows that he got played and whatnot. And one more thing I want to say is never say yes to a meetup, especially because OnlyFans don't even allow a meetup, and never say directly no. Just always postpone it. Say no indirectly. What I like to use is, let's say, if one of my creators is in college and he's like, and the fan is like, hey, when can we meet? When can we meet? I've spent so much money. We've been talking for 6 months. I really want to see you. Oh, I really have exams, I think I won't be able to meet you until the college ends. But definitely, once my college ends, we'll see where it goes. I'm really a go with the flow girl. If you're still good friends, if you're still very close like we are right now, or even closer, I would love to meet you. But I cannot really say right now. Let's see where it goes. Never say yes or no. Always say no in terms of let's see where it goes. So first, you don't get reported, and second, it really plays into the fantasy, and he's there chasing, and he has no other option. Some guys want to be sugar daddy, some guys want to be boyfriends, some guys want to be lovers, and the other and there will be some guys who know how the game is played, but they still want to spend. I just call them whales. Usually the rare type. Whales, in the general scheme of things, are people who spend more. But for my specific agency, whales means the guy that kind of know the game but still want to spend, which is a very good thing. Cannot complain. One more trick I want to tell you is, in the fan and creator relationship, be his psychologist. Let's say you just had a sexting session and everything is going nice. He has a pre-nut clarity. Don't leave him just because he's not buying anything anymore. Actually talk to him. Talk to him about his childhood trauma. Talk to him about his first rejection in the relationship, or his real relationships, or his relationship with his mother and father. His, some deep shit that he would never tell anyone. Make him vent. That's how you get them emotionally invested and addicted to the creator and to the chats. And that is why he will want to come back every single time. And the more deep he talks and more he talks about himself, the more first he'll feel relaxed and good about himself. Not good about himself, but good in general, because everybody likes to talk about themselves, whether it be emotional in a positive way and whatnot. And second, he would want to come back for that connection, because no girl has genuinely cared about his past or his childhood trauma, and frankly, no real life girl does. But there's a fantasy they like. And third, you can take notes from this and you can use that for your own good later in the chat. Notes is a very powerful tool, guys. It's a very powerful tool. So, goal of chatting is basically, as I've said many times, making him invested, either financially, actually not either, definitely financially and emotionally if possible. The more invested he is either ways, he'll spend money at the end. Let's say if he spend $1,000 but he still haven't seen the pussy, he will come back and he will try and get to that goal regardless. So you have to play to that innocent character. Oh, I'm not comfortable, or I feel nervous and whatnot. And this will actually increase the perceived value. So $20 bundles is not how you make money, guys. I have a story to tell you, but anyways, I'm not gonna get into it. Long story short, someone was comparing my chatting agency to someone else's. They made good money. They made really good money on the first day, but after that, the money was dead, because they ruined every single fan by selling them cheap bundles, and every single one of them bought, because every single one of them bought, because in their mind, perceived value was really, really, really high, and seeing that thing for $50, they all clicked the buy button. But from the next day, half of the fan didn't show up, and the perceived value was very low, and they stopped making money. And from there, we had to rebuild the account from the grounds up to get to that perceived value, especially with the new fans. For the old fans, it's much, much, much harder once you fuck up to actually rebuild everything. So perceived value is very important. The goal of chatting is to make money at the end of the day, and perceived value is how you can do that. And there are a lot of different ways you can increase the perceived value. And you have to understand that you have to sell like a woman. So you cannot be transactional. You cannot be doing, which is one of the next points. You cannot be negotiating like a man. You cannot be like, this picture, $50. Oh, you don't want to do $50? I can do $45. No, you need to take it as a disrespect that he is putting a price on your body. You can use lines like, I'm not a prostitute. You know, when you do this, I really feel like a prostitute. I don't really like doing this doing this full time. I'm only doing this because it's fun and I don't have any friends and I like to talk to people, and it helps me pay my college tuition or pay my mortgage and whatnot. You have to always twist the way the fans see the thing, because he's a man. He's going to see like transactional. You need to make it non-transactional, and you need to make it feel like money is money, and whatever number you put is the final number, and he needs to buy it, because otherwise it will be either disrespectful and it's going to make you emotional. And one thing guys really like to do is save. There's like a saving syndrome. I'm not sure what the name is, but if a girl is crying, if a girl is feeling bad, if a girl has a lot of issues, guys like to go and solve their problems. So you need to sell them your problems, and they will help you solve them. Very easy. Girl next door / GFE. This is super important, because if you do this wrong, your perceived value, your basic psychology, your relationship with the fan will not work, because girl next door is basically a girl that they want. Let's say a girl that they saw in college. She wouldn't just go and sell pussy pics. She wouldn't be like $50 pussy pics. Here you go, bro. No. Oh, you cannot do 50. 30, but I'll remove 2 pictures. No problem. I'll send them again. She wouldn't say. Let's say he messages her on Instagram. She's like, oh, hey baby, how are you? I'm so horny tonight. My pussy come and whatnot. They don't do that. They don't use those words. They don't say baby right away. They don't say baby easily. They shit test you to the end of the fucking earth, and you need to shit test them a little bit. It needs to be easier shit test, because these guys don't know how to go through shit tests. But the girls will shit test you. They will not use vulgar terms like pussy, cum, and whatnot, especially right away, unless they're in a sexual situation or a sexual encounter. And let's say what? They would want to be respected, and they can get mad, and they can get they can show emotions. Let's say someone just says hey and sends you a dick pic. A real girl would get mad, and she would be like, what is this? Why are you disrespecting me? I get 1,000 of these. This is nothing special. Of course, you cannot be rude to the fans. You cannot curse at them. But you need to be firm with, hey, I did not like that. Maybe in the future, but not right now. Because at the end of the day, this is also OnlyFans. Made for this shit. So yeah, at the end of the day, you have to talk like a girl next door. It needs to be hard to get your attention. It needs to be the feeling of a real girl that they want to maybe marry, meet, make their girlfriend, love, take care of. And how you get that feeling is just, it comes down to your EQ and your experience with girls at the end of the day. And just because you are a girl and you're chatting as a girl and your chatter are girls, does not mean they will do the right job. I've actually had many girls that have fucked up in chatting big time because they were chatters at the end of the day, and they think the same. Just because they're a girl does not mean their EQ is high enough. So EQ is a very big thing when it comes to chatting psychology, chatting as a girl and chatting in general. Taking notes and why is it so powerful? I've said it many times. Taking notes is very, very important because you need to personalize each fan's experience. You need to make them feel special. And taking notes will help you with just that. If you remember their dog's name, if you remember their first girlfriend's name, if you remember what city they're in, if you remember, and I just woke up, good morning, but it must be nighttime for you because you live in fucking Australia. They will hit that thing in their mind which will be like, fuck, she knows about me. Fuck, she remembers where I'm from. Fuck, she remembers my dog's name. Damn, she remembers my childhood girlfriend's name. And they will, even if they don't want to, even if they're not looking to, they will start falling in love with the creator, and they will start feeling emotionally about that creator, and they would want to talk to her more because they feel that connection. The connection is what you want to build, lads. The connection is what you want to build, and notes will help you because you cannot remember everything about everyone across 5 chatters on one account for, let's say, 20,000 fans. It's not possible. So you need to take as much detailed notes as possible. For what I do for my agency, I also have a database on Notion that takes notes for the fans, and there are some fans who we can tell, hey, this guy went and came back, keeps deleting his account, coming back, keeps deleting his account and coming back. So that saves us the trouble if you're changing CRMs. Saves us a lot of troubles in case they delete their account and we change CRMs. We have all the notes. And the final point, I think this is a very important point, that you need to be entertaining and you need to be addictive. And I know I'm using this words very repetitively, that you need to be addictive, taking notes, because this is very important, guys. I just want to make sure that you get it in your head. This is very important. You need to be weird, you need to be random, you need to be entertaining, and you need to entertain them. You know, when you're having fun with your friend talking, let's say you have a group chat, you say random bullshit. You know, you can do that in the chat and in OnlyFans as well. It doesn't have to always make sense. It doesn't always have to be a flow of conversation. You can say random bullshit as well. You can send GIFs. You can use weird emojis. You can make weird noises. You can send weird voice notes. And guys will like that. And that would actually be a very, very good change of pace for them. And that will actually make you stand out because no one else is doing that. So when you're standing out, they will remember you and they will want to come back to you, and they will maybe want to give you another chance to talk and sell. And every time they send a message, you need to understand in your head that it comes closer to the next dollar in your pocket. So yeah, show them good energy, you know, because they're looking for a good addictive energy of the female. They're looking of that caring energy. They're not looking for just some online porn, because if they were, they wouldn't be here, frankly. Yeah, play to their fantasy, make jokes with them, be weird, make stupid jokes. And yeah, there's not really any better way for me to explain it, but yes, just be entertaining, be addictive, be joyous, be bubbly, be like a cute girl that just likes to have fun and is super friendly. That's about it. That's the video. One thing I want to say is I do also have a chatting agency. So if you have good traffic but you are struggling to make money from your chatting, if you have good traffic but you're struggling to make money from your chatting, let's say you only have a ratio 1 to 8, but you're looking to increase it and you cannot find a way. This is the best way to make money for OnlyFans agency and focus on traffic, is to hire a chatting agency. So if you want to take a look, you can go on infinitechatting.com. and you can take a look there. I also have a free Telegram group that I think everybody should join. This is for networking. I learned most of my OnlyFans knowledge by networking with people, by meeting them IRL and discussing stuff. Even got into business. You get a lot of business by meeting people and talking to them. So I think everybody should join them, either if you're a creator or if you're an OnlyFans agency. Definitely join them. If you're looking for chatting agency, look through this. I also have a Reddit agency. I provide Reddit traffic. If you want to know more detail, you can find all the details in the Telegram group there. Thank you. Welcome to part 6 of the chatting course, fan management. Perfect. So basically, fan management is one of the most important, not most, but one of the more important parts of managing a bigger team, managing a lot of fans. And if you're running anything on scale, even a small scale, you're running multiple models, you have a chatting team, you do need a good fan management. So everything is sorted, everything is taken care of, and all the chatters know what to do. You can set up, without this, you cannot really set up any systems. You cannot really set up any strategies. Classifying fans is one of the more important things when it comes to OnlyFans chatting. But anyways, this also helps the chatter know about who the fan is, how to deal with the fan, and maybe you use some strategies that you teach them. I use it a lot, and this is something I teach all my chatters, and this is something that I pay a lot of attention to all the chatters doing. Also, one thing you can use this fan management systems I'm going to teach you for is to know the status of the fan, paydays, when is the next scheduled sexting session and whatnot, his birthday, etc. All these things you can use to make more money. All these things you can use to build more connection and get him more emotionally invested as well. If you use these correctly, you will convert a lot of normal spending fans into whales. A lot of people getting into the love with the model and whatnot. So the way you do this is basically there are some things that I've listed how I use it. First is very common, fan lists. So I have a lot of lists. The most common one that everybody knows is, and most of the CRMs do this automated, is the spending list. New fans, fans that have spent low amount of money, medium fans, high spenders, whales. So these are the fan lists based on spending, but then you have also fans list on people who buy PPVs. Some people only wants to buy some nudes and some porn, and that is basically free money, and we cannot say no to that. So people who don't want GFE and they just want nudes and porn, you basically put them in a separate list. You can actually get very creative with this. For example, if you have, like, when I run Reddit, sometimes I'm also marketing my girls one account as Australian account, the other one Canadian, the other one USA. So there's a lot of fans. Some are from Europe, some are from Australia, some are from Canada, some are from UK, some are from America, and you can basically put them in different lists as well, right? So list basically helps you to. This is very basic. If you have any kind of experience, you already know this. But list basically helps you, select all the fans at once and kind of know what kind of fan it is. One thing that goes very closely with the list is my emoji system. So basically, I have a big list of emojis that we put next to the names. Let's say if a fan is a student, we put him in the student list and we put student emoji right next to his name. So when the fan is when the chatter is chatting, he doesn't have to look through the list to know who the fan is, or the chats, or the notes, or the summary. All he do is, okay, here's the emoji, student emoji, boyfriend emoji. That means he's a student and he's in love and he's a whale emoji. So you can put multiple emojis and they can tell you a lot about who the fan is. So these goes hand in hand. You can also use emojis as something that I use emojis for is also knowing when the pay date is. So if we are waiting for the pay date, we would put a certain emoji in the names. If we are waiting for the next sexting session, we would put a certain emoji in the name. If the guy is a non-spender or a time waster, we would put a certain emoji in the name. If the guy only likes PPV and porn and just wants to buy and really doesn't care about any GFE or knows the game and he's not playing around, he just wants what he wants, he knows what he wants, there's a certain emoji for that as well. You can also use lists and emojis for people who are into certain kind of stuff. Let's say this fan really loves the eyes of the model, and there's a lot of fans that love the eyes. So you can put an eye emoji. For boobs, you can use a separate emoji. For ass, you can use a separate emoji. For midriffs, you can use separate emoji. For certain kinks, you can use separate emoji. If he's a dom, you can use a separate emoji. So all these emojis, helps a lot. So you don't have to make lists for every single thing. But lists are also important, especially if you're using PPVs. Right here, lists are very important because one thing I'm going to tell you about PPVs, you don't want to send PPVs to the fans that are regularly talking to the girl, that feels a natural connection, thinks of them as their boyfriend, or are whales, or are new, or are potential whales. You only want to send PPVs to the guys that are time wasters, that just want porn and just want PPVs, stuff like that. So once you start making your own emoji lists, PPVs, emoji list and fans list, you can use the PPV system. You can be very creative with it, and you can use it in many different ways. One more thing I want to tell you is names. So how do we use names? Let's say there is a guy with username John Wick 24, right? Of course, first it's not his real name, and using the name in a certain way, you can maximize the kind of info you can get just by scanning through the name. So this is how I like to do it. His name is James, let's say. So John Wick 24. We edit his nick. We put a nickname there. So basically, in OnlyFans, you have an option to edit. You should know that. You can put his name as James, bracket whatever nickname you give him. So let's say you start calling him John Wick, or you call him Batman, or whatever. Bracket nickname, a dash, his age, dash where he's from, and emojis in the start. This is how we use names, and this really helps a lot about basically summarizing the fan in one line, especially because you have very limited character space in the names. But on the extension, you can always use notes. Is one of the best tools in OnlyFans, but I don't see people using that all that much. One more thing is CRMs. CRMs has automated lists. That means currently chatting list and the spending list, which I always like to use because they all automatically put and change lists, and everything is always updated. And there are, depending on what CRM you're using, there are a lot of automations, different systems that you can use to manage your fans better. And yeah, once you have all this in place, how it will help you is your chatters will know how to do with a certain fan. You can make strategies, you can make sequences, and let's say you make a ass sequence for all the guys that like ass. Now all you do is you pull up the ass list, you send everyone a PPV, you put a caption in a way that it feels personalized, and boom, you have money coming in. You can do the same with everything. Also, it can also help you kind of figure out a stats on a lot of different things. Like, students, okay, that means put the price low. He's not going to be paying that much because he's a student. He probably is broke, but we can take the little money that he has instead of aiming for the big one. So sometimes charging less can be a good game of plan if you know more about the fan. The more you know about the fan, the more tools you have in your back pocket, and the way you transfer the knowledge from one chatter to another. Because at a time, I have 4 to 5 chatters working on one set of accounts or one account, depending on how big it is. And the way to transfer their knowledge into one another is using these systems exactly, plus the fan notes, plus we have a shift handover system as well, where they kind of summarize some of the important things the next chatter should have. So these are really important things that you can implement. One thing I can do is, if you join my free Telegram here, which is for networking, I'm not selling you anything there, for networking, talking, asking questions and whatnot. If you join there, I will post the free resources, my emoji systems and the list systems that I use and the name system that I use as a PDF there for free for everyone. So if you join that, you can go grab that. One thing I want to also mention is I also have a chatting agency of myself. So if you're pulling decent traffic, you should go take a look at infinitechatting.com, watch the video, and if you qualify and if you think that that is something that we can work on, you should just message me on Telegram. Yes, also for the chatting agency, we are also taking over trans and male models because there's a lot of money to be made. I also have a Reddit service agency. You can join my Telegram and you can ask me any questions about it. I'm not going to waste your time on the video.